He managed to take the swing out of a swing district in the last election.
I have been overwhelmed from the beginning about the amount of support I've had from everybody.
A former federal prosecutor navigating a whole new world of politics, a new president, a new divided America.
Oh, don't worry, we're going to have the wall. Don't worry about it.
Lingering concerns about jobs and looming decisions about a major highway project.
Tonight, Congressman John Katko face-to-face with voters, making good on a promise he made months ago.
It's hard to imagine anyone saying that I'm not available and open to the public.
We want an answer, Congressman Katko. Why are you avoiding us? We want an answer.
His critics are here, so are his supporters.
They all have questions, and we're about to hear Congressman John Katko's answers in the Your Voice, Your Future Town Hall. Good evening. Welcome to our special Town Hall, Your Voice, Your Future Town Hall conversation with Congressman John Katko.
We are broadcasting live tonight from the campus of Onondaga Community College inside Store Hall, where a number of constituents from the 24th Congressional District have gathered.
They are all here, and they all have questions for Congressman Katko, who has not held a town hall since the last election. That all changes tonight, and it's happening live right here. We have our first question from Nancy, and she has a question.
There are 3 areas of the Trump proposed budget that I would like reinstated. They include Meals on Wheels.
Because quite frankly, my mother did Meals on Wheels for 20 years, and I went with her at times. I went with her I went by myself since I've been in Congress. I've done it many times. I have friends that do an awful lot of volunteer work for Meals on Wheels, including one of my neighbors, and a retired FBI agent, and have an immense amount of respect for them. The public-private partnership, which Meals on Wheels represents, is the best form of government I can see. Government provides the funding and gets out of the way and lets these people do the great work.
Congressman, I'm with John from Camillus. He has a question for you tonight.
How are you?
About veterans.
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for being here, Congressman. I also like to thank you for your support of the military veterans. My question has to do with our military veterans. Specifically, what do you see as the most pressing issues facing our military veterans, and how will you address those issues?
Well, thank you, John. There are a slew of issues facing our military veterans. And here's a cold, hard fact for you. By the time that this meeting is over, another veteran will have taken his life in this country. That's a cold, hard fact. Veterans are committing suicide at a rate of almost 1 an hour. So think about that. 1 an hour. That's a national tragedy. And so we passed some legislation to try and fix that. As one example of the problems facing veterans, and this is infuriating. And it was a Clay Hunt Suicide Prevention Act. I'm very proud of it, very happy with it. It went to President Obama's desk and he happily signed it, as well he should. They set up hotlines across this country for people to call in, veterans that were suicidal. They were put on hold and they were asked to leave messages, and we get back to you. And many of those people ended up committing suicide. That is a disgrace in this country, okay? That's one example of some of the problems that beset the treatment of veterans in this country. I think we have a solemn responsibility from the moment they put on the uniform and to the moment they take their last breath on earth to look after them. And thank you.
Before we fully wrap up, though, we're going to give the Congressman about a minute to give us a closing thought.
Listen, I learned from you all, okay? And I appreciate the fact that you feel differently than me and you're passionate about things. That's great, okay? And we're going to continue to have these conversations. I'm happy to have more of these. I thought it was very well done, and I appreciate everything everyone did to come here tonight to offer their opinions, okay? This is America, okay? This is democracy in action. And our forefathers set up a great country where you were allowed to voice your opinion. You were allowed to say when you're pissed off at somebody. That's great. And I love to hear it because it makes me a stronger and a better leader. And listen, sometimes I don't always like the signs outside my office with me dressed in a dunce hat and all that, but that's okay. That's your right, and you're educating me as to other points of view, and that's fine. But the bottom line is this is a great country, and we got to continue this dialogue going forward.